What is going on, everyone? I'm Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, and for this video I'm here to give you guys my review for Disney's Planes, the video game, which is a Nintendo exclusive. The version that I'll be reviewing for this video is the one on the Nintendo Wii. This game is also on the Wii U, DS, and 3DS. In the game, you have this mysterious aircraft out in the hangar bay telling the story of the great race that took place. He has his giant billboard that's filled with a bunch of photos, and pretty much in the game you're going to be reliving those moments that took place in those photos from the different heroic events from the different aircrafts that you'll be playing in the game. As for the graphics were pretty much standard. There wasn't really any particular moment in the game that stood out above the rest, and of course in the game you are going to be visiting a wide variety of different areas, such as flying through a nice thunderstorm, flying through the Grand Canyon, over farmland, and of course different areas of the game, which looked really nice overall. I really liked the color tone that was put into the game. It was really nice and colorful, had that nice cartoonish feel, making you feel like you're in the world of planes, just like the world above cars. But overall the graphics were pretty much alright. It's just your standard graphics. Like I said, there wasn't any particular moment in the game that stood out above the rest. As for the gameplay is quite simple. All you're doing is a variety of different objectives. For example, you may have an objective where you have to go and break a certain amount of targets. You may have another one where you have to power up generators, which then you go and pick up a lightning rod, fly into a thunder cloud to get up electricity, then power up the generators. You may have another task where you have to carry passengers to the different locations, or if you're trying to go for a sponsorship, basically you're building upon your points. And of course a few moments where you're actually going to have actual races, because in the actual movie it's all about this big race, but in the game you only have just a little bit amount of races, to be honest. It's not like a big race, unless if you're playing the online multiplayer, then that's where the races will actually take place. But overall, the gameplay is quite simple. Basically, it's impossible to lose. All you're doing is trying to get the highest score at the end of each level, whether it's just you or with the second player. That's pretty much all it is. You're just doing a wide variety of different objectives, trying to get the highest score, basically trying to earn your wings. As for the sound design in this game was actually alright. If there's actually one particular moment that did stand out in terms of this game, would have to be the in-game soundtrack. There's actually quite a few moments when I was playing the actual campaign or free flight mode where the soundtrack picked up. I was like, wow, this is actually really good. And now it's hard for me to describe in terms of what I was listening to, but it just had a really nice beat, just like a really nice tone, to the point where I would actually go out and purchase that specific track, whatever the track name is. But overall, like I said, the voice actors did a really good job praising the roles of their respective characters. In terms of the sound, like I said, the in-game soundtrack was actually really good and really nice to listen to. As for the lifespan, what kind of lifespan do we see in a game like this? To be honest, it really depends on the actual age group that's playing. If you're more of in the teens to adults, this is probably only going to last you just about one day, because it's really easy to unlock everything and to level up and basically pretty much get the high score of everything. So, teens to adults, it's not really going to have a great lifespan. But in terms of the smaller age group, this is what it's meant to play towards. Little kids are probably going to enjoy this game a lot. It may be a game that's going to, catch their interest for a while. I know my little brother was actually playing the game. He really got into it, so this is something that's probably going to last him for a while. But for me, I was able to complete it in a day and pretty much unlocking everything with no issues at all. But like I said, if it's meant for the smaller age group. So if you get it for little kids and things like that, it's probably going to last them for a little bit of time, maybe a couple months or so. But if you're more of a teen to adult, it's only going to last you less than 24 hours overall. But the lifespan overall, like I said, it's okay. It really depends on what age group you get this game for. Like I said, for the little kids, it's going to last them for a while. As for the adults, not so much. As for the innovative, did they do anything new, or was the stuff that we already seen before? To be honest, it's stuff that we've seen before. I played quite a few different flight games for the Nintendo Wii, and it's stuff that we've already seen before. The controls were pretty much basic. There wasn't really anything new. After all, this is just a little arcade Disney game with planes in it. It's pretty much catered to the smaller audience, so there's not really much to it. But overall, I'm going to go ahead, since I did enjoy the game actually quite a bit and did have a nice soundtrack, I'm going to go ahead and give Disney's Planes for the Nintendo Wii an 8.5 out of 10. If you guys would like to see the complete walkthrough, you can check the link down in the description below. Anyways, I'm Sir James from Gamerfuzion, and remember, Gamerfuzion empowers your gaming.